Do you think we, as the oppressed people, should be celebrating 4th of July with the rest of this country?
Hell no. Holidays, which is paganism.
This society is a problem. You know, this is set up for us to fail. It's set up for us to go through this. This society, you know, white man set up for us to go through this. It's that Willie Lynch crap. You know, he set for us to go through psychological slavery. We still in chains. We psychologically in chains. We still in chains. Just because we won't get free.
Hey, shalom, most high in Christ bless. Marvelous y'all fame. Israel United in Christ cuts from the streets. We down here downtown DC for the protest of George Floyd. I'm with my brother Charles here. So Charles, we're just gonna ask a couple questions, right? Yes, yes. How do you feel about all of the looting that's going on for George Floyd? Do you think it's taken away from his death, all the looting and rioting?
No, I think that it's making people think sometimes about it. That's what I think. I don't give a fuck about a bus in the window.
Hey, y'all, shalom, most high in Christ bless. Obviously, y'all fame here. Israel United in Christ cuts from the streets. We downtown right now for the protest of George Floyd. All right, I'm here with Brother Jerry. So, Brother Jerry, we're going to get right into it, okay? So, what do you think is the answer for all of the looting and the rioting going on? What should be done as a result of all the rioting the past several days about the murder of George Floyd? Do you think that it's acceptable for his death is giving us a reason to loot and riot?
I wouldn't say it's a reason, but as far as us, I mean, it just comes from years of anger, you know? Okay. People just seeing injustice and not being held accountable for what they do, you know? And I hear people say all the time, oh, well, black people kill each other in their neighborhoods all the time, but I mean, when that happens, everybody know they get life, you know? Or whenever you get caught, you're going to prison the rest of your life. We just want people to be held accountable for their actions, you know? Okay. If you murder somebody, then you do the time, you know?
Okay, so if after all of this is over, right, the looting, the protesting, the anger towards the police, if another black woman or black man is killed unjustly, what should we as a people do then? Because it seems like this is a reoccurring theme in our community. We get killed, one of our own get killed, we riot, we protest, we get mad, and then things die down, and then it happens all over again. So what should be the answer if this ever happens again? What should we do then?
I feel like as far as now, us as black people in every area, different states, we need to come together, you know? We need to at least communicate with each other to where we can come with some type of solutions for what we need to do for our neighborhood, you know? As far as people that's helping out with the protests and everything, I mean, I'm proud to see it's a lot of people with different cultures stepping in, you know, and showing their concern. Okay. And as far as us, for our neighborhood, I think it starts off with each individual neighborhood as far as what you can do for the community, you know? Because, I mean, we don't have really enough power to control everything that's going on in different states. But I think as far as us, for our community, we can step in and do what we need to do to change around us, you know, because the smaller impacts can lead to bigger ones.
Shalom, Israel. Most High Christ blessed. Officer REA from Israel United in Christ. We are here with
Kelly Evans.
Sis Kelly. So, question real quick. So, after all the rioting, after all the protesting, and all this is over, right? Another black man dies. Do you think, by the police, do you think this is going to change or?
No. Somebody going to die right doing this through police brutality.
That's true.
There's people dying right through this with police brutality, through police brutality.
That's true.
So it's not going to stop.
That's true. Okay, do you think the looting and the rioting, did that change the effect of actual George Floyd's death? Do you think that tore everything about him dying, us out here looting and rioting in the street?
It changed the trajectory of things, but it in a negative way, because I think that's what they look for. That's why they probably send people to do it, to get it started, and one follows the other, and it follows another, and it's a trickle down effect. It doesn't look good. That's why the brother is, doing an interview to say that's not what his brother lived for. That's not what his brother lived about. That's not, but that's what white people look for us. They look for us to act like animals.
That's true. That's true. So, with that being said, do you think we should police ourselves? Like, us gather together and have a police within each other and saying, oh, we need to stop this, we need to stop that, instead of having them police us?
That's a thin line. That's a thin line. That's a thin line. Because then you're going to go to the households. You got to go in the households. And the households ain't right. And if the households ain't right, the product of the household is not right. And when the product of the household is not right and keep reproducing, that's what we deal with.
Okay.
If you got to think a little more, then we making them think a little more. Okay. You know, we can ease up on vandalism or all that like that, but keep your middle fingers up and all that stuff because they got to think a little more.
Okay, so next question. As you know, we as African Americans, we have a tumultuous history when it comes to our interactions with the police, right? And our anger is justified when we have situations like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, so on and so forth. So, do you think that we as a people, just African Americans, do you think that we should start policing ourselves?
I think we should have did that from the beginning. That should have been the whole cause then, you know, because, I mean, if we, like I said before, my first statement, I mean, we need to start with our community. If we can start within our community, just helping the younger people, let them see the better way of how it is, then, I mean, that will help a lot. And as far as teaching our youth our true history, because I feel like when I was in high school or middle school coming up, if I would have knew more about my people and things that we did, it probably would change my whole perception of how I see the world, and that could help for our younger kids too. Just to know our power of where we stand, you know, because some people don't have any direction, and that can start our direction just by knowing our past. So it helps a lot just from us educating our kids, you know.
I'm sitting here with my main man D. We're down here at the protest, the March for George Floyd, and I just want to pick the brother's brain just a little bit to see what his thoughts are. So, what do you think is the most important thing we're looking for by protesting and in this movement?
First of all, we should all work together and be unified, and we can overcome everything that they throw at us and defeat them. That's the only way it can work.
Okay. Now, question, because I heard a couple of key words in there. You said that we, and then I heard you say them or they. Who's the we?
We as people, as the one people, and against the opposition, whoever the opposition is. If it's our own color, opposite color, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Next question for you. What do you think is going to happen the next time a black man gets killed by the hands of the police? Well, let me ask you this first. Do you think it's going to happen again?
Of course.
Of course. What is our next course of action the next time that happens?
Well, that's hard to say. We just got to keep fighting and see, just keep on pressing them. That's the only way it's going to work, or we're going to get results, just like it's happening. I don't know if it's because people are tired of it. I don't know if it's because of COVID. So it could be people just angry from being oppressed from the COVID. But, I mean, it's really hard to say, you know. But I think we can definitely defeat them because good overpowers evil any day.
Okay.
And truth.
Okay, I like that. Now, I got a couple of curveballs I'm going to throw at you, right? Okay. And just answer as honestly as possible. Do you think America is and was a racist country?
Facts.
Okay. Second question. Here comes the curveball. In 1776, where were our people?
Enslaved.
Our people were enslaved. Okay. Third curveball. 4th of July is coming in the upcoming weeks. Do you think we, as the oppressed people, should be celebrating 4th of July with the rest of this country?
Hell no.
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. It's Officer Ariel with IUIC DC, Cuts from the Street. I'm Officer Ariel. I'm here with Brother Wesley. Wesley, okay. So, I got a question for you. After all the protesting, the marching, and the riots, and looting, and all that stuff, and what's the next step? What do we do? Say another black man is killed. Do we do the same thing?
I think we got to keep the pressure that we have now. Long overdue. This is something that should have taken place years ago. I don't agree with the destruction of property, But if your voice is not heard, what else do you have? I mean, you got to get their attention somehow, some way. So this change is coming, long overdue.
So let me ask you this: do you celebrate holidays?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Quick question. So what holiday is coming up next?
Father's Day. It's not a holiday, but it's a day for me. So
What's the next major holiday amongst the nation that's coming up next?
Memorial Day, I believe. 4th of July. Yeah.
Okay. Quick question. Do you know a little bit about history? Where were our people in 1776? That's the start of the nation of America. Where were we?
If I had to guess, I'm gonna say Africa.
In 1776, the year 1776, where was our nation, our people?
I don't know.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it's going to be people celebrating it, and that's the sad thing about it. But because the oppressors have beat it in people's heads that they need to celebrate holidays, which is paganism. So it's it is what it is.
We were in slavery.
We were brought here.
But that's what I'm saying. The birth of America in 1776, because that's when they say the country started, right? Where were our people? You know what I'm saying?
Right. You just said in slavery.
Okay. So let me ask you this: do you think that because July 4th is a celebration of their start of the country, do you think as a people we should celebrate that day? Because during that time we were in slavery. So do you think we should celebrate that coming up this 4th of July?
Independence Day, but there's no independence for us as a black people. Maybe we'll get that after this, like I said, but we can't let up. We got to keep the pressure on and see where it goes.
So would you say keeping the pressure would be not celebrating that day?
Absolutely. Don't partake in it.
Do you believe that's going to happen?
No, you're still going to have a lot of people, because people like to party, people like to celebrate and do their thing. I mean, you got the president saying he still want to have a celebration on the mall.
Because the mayor running the police, and if the video shows documents that it shouldn't have been like that, and we don't have to go and assume that everyone is a threat in the same terminology as the officer who did what he have done. Before the one that he have done, that he messed it up for all of us. You heard me? Because if life like a box of chocolates, in theirs it could be a box of bricks, and we be the ones carrying it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you another question about the bricks. So what do you think about the police setting up all of these bricks in our communities in downtown to get us to destroy the community? What's your thoughts about that?
Well, has nothing to do with the police. Has to do with think people, government, setup, money, trades, knockoff, bringing up. Who the fuck are you? Make yourself somebody. You ain't shit. Make yourself somebody. Have nothing to do with the police.
Okay, so after... Okay.
Hold on. Because I had to take the glasses off and say that.
Okay, my bad. Take your time.
Shalom family, Officer Arya here, and I'm with brother
Armani,
and we just trying to get his input on what's going on in the streets today. We actually out here with the protest for George Floyd, right?
of course.
Do you think the rioting and the looting distracted the people from the actual death of George Floyd?
I think so. I think for most part, yes, it did. Yeah, it did. Looting and rioting, I mean, it's understandable though, but you can't. You're taking away with the narrative of this whole thing. Okay. So you're making us other people looking bad, and people think like the protesters are rioters, and you don't want that overlap. So yeah, overall it's a bad thing. So yeah.
Okay. So the police is so-called the cause of why we out here. Yeah. The police killing each other.
Right.
Why don't we march when our black people kill our own black people?
It's about the racial overlap, the racism. We're all aware of it. All Americans are aware of it, and we understand that internally, at least subconsciously, there's a gap between there's an equality gap between other races, and we know that the other race does something else to another race. You know, it's very sensitive action. I don't know really how to explain it.
Makes sense.
You know, given all that's going on with the COVID-19, I don't think that's a great idea. You know.
So let me ask you this. You hear all our people chanting, you know, Black Lives Matter. You even hear some people saying F the police and all that stuff. Let me ask you this. Do you think all police are bad, and do we need them?
No, all police are not bad, but it starts within in yourself. Because I had an issue with the police. I mean, I'm 50 now. I just turned 50, you know, in December, this past December. So I had to learn. I mean, you know, it was just attitude on my part for no reason. And then I think you got a lot of cops that come with attitude. With a cat like me, I'm a chief engineer. You would never think I drive a nice car, but I get profiled as a drug dealer. Far from it, never been it. Been at my job for 30 plus years. So when I get stereotyped like that, it rubs you the wrong way, and that's where conflict comes, confrontation. I heard you say you're with the police, right? You with the police, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I thought when you introduced yourself, you said officer.
Nah, that's just my rank.
Okay, yeah, but that's how I feel with that, man. It's blame on both sides, and you know, got to come together.
Okay. So do you think it's the actual police the problem, or we're the problem?
Oh, it's both. The society is the problem. You know, this is set up for us to fail. This is set up for us to go through this. This society, you know, white man set up to go through this. It's that Willie Lynch crack, you know. He set for us to go through psychological slavery.
That's true.
We still in chains. We psychologically in chains.
That's true.
We still in chains. Just because we walking free, quote unquote, because we ain't really free, you know.
That's
so
true.
it all depends on what people look at, what their freedom is.
Okay. My last question, and it's about the holidays. You celebrate the holidays, right?
Sometime, but not like that. As a kid, I came up knowing to celebrate the holidays, but once I learned what the holidays was, I made my own holidays. I did my own thing with my own kids.
Okay. So do you think us as a whole world should gather together like this, or should we ourselves as the blacks gather and unite together?
The whole world,
The whole
for
world?
sure. The whole world, no, definitely. Especially when any minority, not even blacks, Latinos, whatever, are in they're not in, I guess, a predominant black area. So we need other people to help us, to be honest with you.
Understand?
I got one more for you, Brother Jerry, before I let you go. Do you honestly feel as though that non-black individuals really think that Black Lives Matter?
Well, it's depending on the individual. I can't speak on anyone. But I mean, as far as what I know, some people do have a concern, you know. For me to judge who has the most concern or who's, you know, I mean, it's up to the individual. So I would have to meet that person or see them for me to speak on it. I can't just say everybody that's doing it, oh, no, they don't have any love for what we do. It depends on the individual, you know.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you heard it from Brother Jerry. I'm Officer Yafim. Israel United in Christ, cuts from the streets. Shalom.
Okay, I like that. Last question for you. Do you have any idea, or what is your opinion, why are we, as the so-called black race, hated by so many other different nationalities?
Because they have been taught that. They have been taught that by the Europeans, the Portuguese, just the English, the Americans. They did a numbers on us by themselves. So everyone took a spin off of us. Man, this is deeper than what people think.
That's awesome. That's an awesome answer. My last question.
And they beat us through religion.
They beat us through religion. You're saying some great stuff, brother. My last question is, what changes have we seen through voting? What changes, what honest changes can you see have we seen through voting as a people?
Zero.
Ask you this. Do we need the police? In our communities and in the nation, do we need the police? Some people say we don't need them.
The rate we're going now, no, we don't. But we do. We do. We do. If you don't have the police, it's going to be probably complete chaos. So there has to be some form of law. But you got to have good people that's going to enforce the law. Serve and protect. You're not protecting anybody when you're killing them. And you're not serving anybody. You're doing a dishonor.
So,
The whole profession.
so let me ask you this. Do you believe as a people we should police ourselves?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So where does that start?
Start within the community. Start within the household. You got a lot of broken homes. So the father figure's missing. So if that can be corrected, teach these young men something better than, just doing the negative stuff. Show them that there's hope. Fund programs. Do something, provide them other opportunities, and see where that goes. If that doesn't happen, the cycle's going to go on and on and on, and we'll be doing this in another 10 years.
Because I asked you that because 4th of July coming up, right? And what were our people doing in 1776?
Oh, we were still slaves.
Still slaves.
Still
So do you
slaves.
think it's right still today that we celebrate that?
Oh no, we should. But you know what? That's miseducation and being uninformed.
That's true.
That's
But it comes from our youth, remember?
It does. Not only from our youth, it comes from in the household, like I said, because if it's not
Right.
being taught in the household, they don't know what to learn. When they go to the white man's school, like we all did, and read the white man's book, like we all did, you only learn about white people things, like we all did.
That's true. That's true. Well, I got a scripture I want to read to you because this is not white man's Bible. This is actually our Bible.
Okay.
I'm going to read this one right here. It says, Deuteronomy 28, verse 15 says, But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Do you think, who other people is referring to here? It's saying that if we did not do his commandments, he was going to put curses on us. Who are the curses on today?
Black people.
On who?
We talking to us. Black people. We talking to us.
Talking to us.
Go ahead.
But is that everybody in the world?
All of us ain't black.
All of us ain't black? Well, I'm not black myself. This right here is black, and I'm brown.
Oh, well,
You
brown,
as well,
okay.
brown.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's a name. That's a name that they gave us.
Right. It was, yeah, color.
Color.
Okay.
Right? Because we had different names as well, like colored. They actually called us Negro, nigga, coon. But who really are we? That's the real question.
We our own people, and we haven't taken a hold of that. We haven't taken a hold of that, and it's a shame that we haven't learned to take a hold of that, and I don't think we know how. We're not directed to that. Our leaders, it's almost like you gotta, just to learn about yourself and who you're from, you gotta join a club, or you gotta be in this religion, or you gotta be in that. Why can't it be something that's just regularly, basically taught all day, every day? Why that's not plastered on the signs and on the buses? Why that's not on the bus stops and on the seats? Why that's, you know what I'm saying? Why that's not, nothing about us is memorialized. Why? Until we die. Then it's a street, then it's a holiday, then it's a stamp. We might get a stamp, but why, why not?
Okay. So next question. I'm sorry, I'm holding you long. Do you think? Okay, so do you think voting is going to change anything?
No.
Because they're all the same, just different agendas, personal agendas. Democrat, Republicans, it's the same, in my opinion.
Okay, and one last question. What have you seen change from the marching that we did 60, 70 years ago to right now?
Honestly, I think some of us have gained more wealth, but it's only very few, and that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Just a small percentage, as black people or people of color have gained some wealth, a little bit, but that's it. But it's the same issues, same problems.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it directly from D. I appreciate your time. Thank you for giving us your honest opinion. Shalom, family. Most High in Christ bless.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that rioting and looting is the answer to get our voice heard? Rioting and looting.
I would say protesting peacefully. Don't agree with the looting. Don't agree with my building where I work at being spray painted. You know, we didn't have any windows broken out, but as you can see, tons of windows broken out. But the people want to be heard. And I think this is the only way you're going to get the attention, where you start hitting people financially to get everybody on board.
So you think hitting them in the pockets where it hurt, right?
Hitting them in the pocket where it hurt. I think they'll start to think about the issue as opposed to just, it's not my problem. You know, it's all our problem. Because when your windows get broken out, you know, and your store get looted, you can't sell nothing. All your merchandise gone. You got insurance and stuff, but if it keeps happening, your business is gonna fold.
So last question. After all the riots and the protesting is over, and another black man dies from police brutality, what's the solution there? Like, do you actually think the protesting today is going to stop them from doing this, or what's the solution to stop us from having that happen to us?
I think it was still more to come, to go honestly, but this is just a step forward that everyone's awakened. It's just increments. That's all it is. From the 1960s, where like we didn't have the same water fountains, the same bathrooms, till now. Now there's interracial relationships, and everybody's more global now. So it's just a step forward. It's just like there'll still be more things, but now everyone, especially the younger generation, millennial generation, are more awakened. So there's no like gray area here. So yeah.
Gotcha. So that's it. Great interview, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
This is Cuts from the Streets, DC. Shalom. Or should we vote?
I mean, if I want to vote for it to be for something for us, not for everybody else, because we're not everybody else. We don't get treated like everybody else. We're not included on everybody else. We're not included equally, let me say that. So if I want to, if I have the need or feel the need to vote, and I'm anxious to vote, I want to do that for something that's just with brown people, for the brown people, with the brown people.
That's good.
So this vote now here, that's for them.
Voting for another oppressor, right?
Right, that's for them. That's another way of control. That's for them. That's not really for us. They want you to think that it is. You get a black face in there, black politician there, smiles, getting grin. He may walk through the hood every now and then, and yeah, I'm from around the corner, or whatever. But really, are you for that? Do you really know what you really getting into, and are you really going to make changes with not selling your soul to the devil, not selling out, not doing as they do or doing as they tell you to do, because they're telling you to do what they want you to do for us, and you not doing what you need to do for us. So what good is it? I'm not saying telling nobody not to. I'm just saying at the end of the day, when you really look at it, how is it working for us and in our favor? They might give us one or two that we liked, that we picked, that was a favorite. Yay, but at the end of the day, that one or two compared to 152, what it really mean?
Makes sense. Well, nice meeting you. Great interview. It's Israel United in Christ, DC. Cuts from the Streets. Shalom.
Now let me ask you this, because I like you giving good answers. You giving answers and everything. So you good. You doing good, bro. So let me ask you this. Do you think that non-black people, right? That means everybody outside the race of a black person, right? Do you believe that they have a voice in this march?
I do, because I can't stand here and say that I'm against someone other than my skin color that's out here with us and holding up signs that I don't even have in my hand. I think it's genuine. I don't think it's fake, and if it starts at a young age, because racism, they say it's taught. It's taught. You got kids of two different colors in school together. They hug each other. They play together. No problem. It's taught, instilled in people, so I support them being out here with us. And, I'm by far not prejudiced, but I know we get a unfair deal sometimes, and it's harder. It's harder for us. We got to fight extra harder. But, that's what makes you strong.
Well, man, that's all my questions I had for you today, man. I appreciate the answers. You know what I'm saying? You did good. Yep. All right. No, you did good, bro. You did your thing. All right, man. This is Officer Ariel, IUIC DC Cuts from the Street. My brother Wesley here. Shalom. Most High in Christ bless.
Okay, so after. Okay.
Hold on. Because I had to take the glasses off and say that.
Okay, my bad. Take your time. Okay, so now, how do we move forward as a people? Now, are
We tell the next people, stop the vandalism. Stop the this, and this. Don't come out 9 in the morning and go back in at 5, nigga. Stand out all day. Stand in front of them. When they try to move us, lay on your back. Make them step on us. Don't go from 9 to 9 the next day, to 9 the next day, to 9 the next day. There's no vandalism, no cursing, no disrespect, but we'll gain respect. You heard? You hear me? Or you can come fuck with me, I'm a killer. Laffy Taffy got a bunch of bricks when they came around with the numbnuts.
Okay, Brother Charles. I appreciate the interview, bro. Hey, you heard it from Charles. Israel United in Christ. Shalom.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.